The Medici, how one bank bought the Renaissance. Picture a man standing in a crowded, chaotic city, a city where fortunes rise overnight and collapse just as fast, where dozens of families are clawing for the same scraps of power. Nobody in that crowd is paying attention to him. He isn't a duke. He isn't a prince. He doesn't even own land worth mentioning. But he understands something almost no one else does. Money, handled the right way, can open every door in the world, even the ones guarded by kings and popes. That man is Giovanni di Bicci de Medici, and the year is 1397 in Florence. Banking, at this point in history, is nothing like it is today. The Catholic Church considers charging interest a sin, usury, punishable in the eyes of God. So lending money and expecting more back isn't just risky business. It's spiritually dangerous. But Giovanni finds a loophole. Instead of charging interest directly, he profits from the exchange rate differences between currencies. Technically, he isn't charging interest. Practically, he's doing exactly that, just dressed in different clothing. He isn't breaking the church's rules. He's slipping right between them. And with that, the Medici Bank is born. But Giovanni's real genius lies elsewhere. At the time, banks operate locally, small, contained, tied to a single city. Giovanni thinks bigger. He doesn't stop at one branch in Florence. He builds a network stretching to Rome, to Venice, eventually to London and Bruges. For the first time in history, a bank operates like an international system. And his biggest client? The Vatican itself. The Medici Bank manages the finances of the papacy, meaning the treasury of the most powerful institution in the Western world flows through the hands of one family. This isn't just profitable. It's a staggering source of influence. When Giovanni dies, his son Cosimo inherits this legacy, and Cosimo is even more ambitious than his father. Here's the strange part. Cosimo holds no official title in Florence. He isn't king, isn't duke, isn't prince. On paper, he's just another citizen. In reality, he runs the city from behind the curtain, deciding who gets funded, who gets elected, which projects move forward. A shadow ruler, hiding in plain sight. And this is where the story becomes something extraordinary. Cosimo, and later his grandson, the man history remembers as Lorenzo the Magnificent, start pouring their fortune not just into politics, but into art. Think of Michelangelo. Think of Botticelli. Think of a young Leonardo da Vinci. Many of these names might never have reached us the way we know them today without Medici money behind them. The profits of a bank were quietly reshaping the entire course of art history. Think about that. The sculptures and paintings we stand in front of today, in awe, inside museums. In many ways, they're the byproduct of numbers on a ledger belonging to one banking family. And the Medici ambition doesn't stop there. Over time, the family produces 4 popes, placing their own name at the highest seat of the Catholic world for separate times. 2 of their daughters become queens of France, Catherine and Marie de Medici, wearing some of the most powerful crowns in Europe. Once, they were simply a family of wool merchants. Now, they're shaping the decisions of kings, popes, and the greatest artists of their age. But history keeps teaching us the same lesson, doesn't it? The bigger the power, the harder the fall. The collapse of the Medici Bank doesn't come from one single mistake. It comes from years of accumulated ones. The family extends massive loans to kings and nobles across Europe. But those loans aren't always repaid. Debts owed by English and French nobility go uncollected. Mismanagement, risky investments, and political instability all pile on top of each other. By 1494, the once mightiest financial institution in Europe collapses entirely. But here's the strange twist. Even after the bank falls, the family's political power lingers on for a while longer. Because by then, they weren't just a bank anymore. They had become a name, a legacy, almost a myth. And maybe that's the most striking lesson the Medici story leaves us with. Money was never just something to hoard. In the right hands, It became powerful enough to shape art, politics, even the character of an entire era.